Hey, beautiful people, I'm back. Oh, yes, to those of you seeing my beautiful face, of course, for the very first time, I say you're welcome. My name is Blossom, and yes, here is my space. And to my good OGs, you're welcome. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And today we're gonna be doing storytelling, and this is actually gonna be a series on this YouTube channel, like just a chit chat, like a time where I just bring to you some sweet gist, and of course, I hope that you pick one or two things from it. And yes, but before we get right into today's story, I'd like to encourage you to subscribe, like, share, comment, just engage this YouTube channel. Okay, thank you in advance. So now back to my story. Today's story is going to be all about my lecturer, or one of my lecturer in my university days, that wanted me to spend some time with him. Like, he wanted us to be doing this and that, but because I declined, he gave me a carryover. And so I just want to gist you guys about how it all went and how I was able to come over it, and how I just dealt with it generally. And yes, let's get right into the story. So if I can remember very well, I was in 300 level. So, and this lecturer was like one of the external lecturers that would just come and go. So from the moment it started, and I'm sure if some of my university friends get to watch this video, they would definitely remember, because my circle was very small, so definitely almost everybody knew about it. So yes, I was in 300 level, and this guy is one of those external lecturers, and from the very first time he introduced himself to us, I wasn't feeling him. Like, he's one of those lecturers that would just come to the lecture room to just read whatever he has to read for you. And even him that was supposed to lecture us as at that time, if you ask me, he doesn't know what he was talking about, or he's not good at disseminating what he knows to us. And for those that knows me very well, they know that I can be naughty. And this is me in his class, that all I do most of the time is I'll keep making fun of him, and I was just laughing. So that was how he has this local accent. So I would always make fun of him, and that was how he got to notice me in the first place. And so that was it. So before I knew, he reached out to me, and he was just making some certain advances towards me, and I just made it known to him point and clear that it can never work. Like, God forbid, even if I had wanted to consider dating the lecturer, which I would not do, not somebody like you. Like, what do I stand to gain? So I just made it clear to him that it can work. So we just continued the normal routine. But we weren't really enjoying. I wasn't the only one. We weren't enjoying his class, but as at that time, we had no choice, because you just had to. And I think he was taking us 2 or 3 other courses like that. So time went by, and before I knew it, I just knew that it was giving me some vibes one time, and we just closed the chapter. And so second semester 300 level, we did a course. He was still asking me what's up, and I said, "Oh God, no way, just come on your face." And so that was how I said, time we end. So I just did a course. I did my best, and I might not really be the most brilliant child or girl in my set, but then I used to try my best. So of course I knew I was going to have a A or a B, whichever way. So, and at last I did the exam, and it went like that. So resuming 400 level, so our very first class, he told me, Dorcas, I gave you a carryover in the midst of, like, in the presence of every other person in my class. And I'm like, carryover, me? I was like, it's not possible. And my class rep back then, shout out to Onireke, we get to see this video. And he was like, "Buki, you're not even worried. This guy said he gave you carryover and you're not worried. What's going on? What happened?" I said, "It's not possible." And lo and behold, the result was pasted. And to my amazement, this guy gave me carryover. And I was devastated, because that was the only carryover I ever had in my university days. And this is me in 400 level already. So having a carryover of a course in 300 level was really, really devastating. So immediately the first thing I did was that I wish, and it was still going to take us another course in 400 level. So immediately I accused him, and I was like, it was what I wrote. And I told him, I know what I wrote. I would never write, like, even if I don't know that course, I can never have a he. Like, I can, like, I'm so sure that I can never carry such course. So I reached that. In the first person I told was my mom. I'm like, oh, this is a lecturer. My mom was like the normal African mom, like, what kind of lecturer is that? This and that. And my mom took it very personal. I was just praying about it. What is his name? What is this? What is that? And my mom was like, in the meantime, just see how you can figure it out and fix this mess. So, and I make it both him that he was going to regret as at that time, I didn't had backup. I just said it for saying sake. And I was like, guy, you're going to regret this that you have done. And yes, I reached out to my level advisors at that time, Mommy Adeoye. If she gets to see this video, so shout out to you, Mom. I love you so much. So I reached out to Mommy Adeoye, and Mommy Adeoye was like, why didn't I tell her prior to this time that I should have told her immediately this guy made advanced towards me? And I was like, I just felt it was just normal thing. Like, I didn't know he was going to take it serious. And Mommy made sure that, I'm not so sure if Mommy reached out to him or something, but she made sure that the following courses I was going to have, the guy must not try any mess. And lo and behold, I think the guy just came one of the for the lectures, and he was telling the whole class to help him apologize to me. And my class rep was asking me like, hey girl, what did you do to this man to make him to tell the whole class to beg me on his behalf? I'm like, I didn't do anything. I was like, that he knows I had prayer, because he used to whine me a lot that because for those of you that don't know, my dad is actually a pastor. So my class rep in the back, they used to whine me that I had gone to deal with him, like I already dealt with him in the secret place. I'm like, it's not like that, but then if that is what it is, then take it that way. So, and yes, it went, time passed, and what I want to say is that after the whole thing, I was going to take the course. Unfortunately for me, when I was going to take the course in 400 level second semester, my level advisor, which was Mommy Adeoye, she was the one taking the course. So it was such a beautiful thing for me. So I just read the normal, like I did my own preparation. But the unfortunate part was that being in 400 level already, I had other exams that clashed with that exam when I was supposed to write, in fact, same time. So I had to reach out to the lecturer, the supervisors in charge that, okay, I'll be having, like, I have 2 exams at the same time. But the good thing was is that the venues were beside each other. So in case I come late for the exam, I requested if I could collect the 2 papers and write it in the same hall, but they said no, that I'll have to finish one, then come for the other one. So in fact, that day would have been the worst day of my life. So there's a place I used to prepare and just read. So I was there, and before I knew it, I slept off. So waking up, it was almost time for my exam, and I had this muzzle put. So I literally crawled to the exam hall. But to my amazement, I wrote the first, like my present 400 level exam, and I went back immediately. I just made sure, and thank God I had some good sisters around. So I made sure that I did that one as fast as I could. Then I went back to the 300 level course. I went to go and write it. And after writing it, and that was it. And God came through, because I wouldn't say I was the one. I think eventually I had A or thereabouts, and in my 400 level course, which I just wrote sharply, I had B. So one lesson I learned in the process is that, number one, don't compromise your standard. Whatever you stand for, like, just stand your ground. Let people know you for who you are, regardless of whatever consequence that might birth it. As long as you know you're on the right track, as long as you know you're doing the right thing, stand your ground. And yes, God will come through for you. And if God is coming through for you, will come better. Because I can't imagine, like I was telling myself that even if I had written that course, or even if he had not given me carryover as at that time, I might not have had an A. But then now rewriting it, I eventually had A, and it boosted my GP. So it was just a good thing for me, and I just felt like in this dispensation I should just share this story with you guys, because I mean, this is my space and what our friends for, so it's okay to just gist with you guys and just tell you a bit of my story. And if I'm not mistaken, that should be the end of the story. So I just want to put it to you that whatever thing you feel you must have learned from the story, that's it. That's it. Just pick it, pick the lessons, and let it walk through life with you. And before I call it a day, at this point, if you had not liked, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Why? I'm just asking. Well, answer me. I'm waiting for your response. So please, guys, like, subscribe, comment, share. Let's just keep this channel growing. And yes, there's some other time again. I remain your beautiful and favorite girl, Blossom. Bye.